Welcome back to Sneaker Impact News. I got a special guest in the house, Joao Alcolea. Joao, what's up, buddy?
How you doing? Everything good?
Yeah, man. Excited to have you here. How you feeling today?
Super excited. First time being on a podcast, and I've talked to myself in the shower enough times, relaying the questions I would hear on podcasts. So I'm excited to be able to share my story and everything we got going on at Pushing for New.
Yeah, man. Well, you came recommended by my colleague, Happy Runner Jazz, who said that you're someone I should definitely talk to that's doing great things in the community, that is inspiring people to live a healthier life. And today we're going to talk all about your journey. And, welcome to Sneaker Impact. I heard you got a tour from our founder. How did that go?
Super impressive what you guys are doing here. I was mind blown by the technology and the amount of things that you guys are making. And it's amazing to see that, you guys are also very focused on the underserved communities, which is super important. We have a big market here, so why focus only here? We have other countries we can help.
Exactly. Yeah, none of the shoes are sold online in the U.S. They all leave the country to serve a second life for those. 25% of children in the world don't have proper footwear, and 75% of the world depends on the secondhand market. And I know your parents are Cuban and Brazilian, right?
Yeah.
And in Cuba, I know especially they have a big need for support.
Yeah. I literally have cousins that are to this day wearing my clothes from when I was 2, 3, maybe 10.
Wow.
My whole life, my parents always told me, we're not throwing anything away. Everything that you do not fit in anymore or you don't see yourself wearing, we're sending it to Brazil, we're sending it to Cuba. And just this week, I literally had my mom tell me how one of her friends had 4 kids, and the 4th one right now is still currently wearing my clothes and wearing some of my shoes. So
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. So it really humbles me to hear that. I grew up in Wisconsin where, every Christmas we had presents under the tree. And, I didn't come from a rich family, but me and my brothers shared a car, the same car, but we had a car.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a home, and we had hot water, and we had electricity. And I've even heard of stories of people in the U.S. that have had to choose between hot water or electricity, or paying their water bill versus, and even in me as an adult, I've struggled at times financially. So I really appreciate that you're the type of person in Miami that understands that, we need to give back, and we need to also not waste anything.
Right.
That's a big thing. That's what we're all about here with the shoes, is not throwing them in the trash. Even if they're end of life, we can create new products out of them.
Yeah.
Which I think you saw the sandals, right?
Keep it going, just making the most out of everything that we have.
Yep.
And because at the end of the day, there's always somebody that has less.
Mm-hmm.
And to us, we might not value something as much anymore, but to somebody else, it's like a brand new pair of shoes.
You're right. Yeah, and there's a lot of waste, unfortunately, in this country. So that's the big problem we're trying to solve.
Right.
So I brought you a mango today from my mango tree.
Perfect for mango season.
Yep.
This is actually my favorite fruit.
Yeah?
This is actually my favorite fruit.
Okay, I got about 30 of them in the office, and I brought them in for everyone, but I'm going to send you home with more than one. But that's my token mango for you off of my personal mango tree in my backyard.
I appreciate it.
They're raining right now, man. They're coming down about 30 a day. So
makes me miss my mango tree I had at home.
Yeah. What part of Miami? Did you grow up here?
Yeah, so I grew up for up to 10 years old. I always lived in Miami Gardens. And then from then to now, I've been living in Miami Lakes.
Awesome. Okay. So you were born and raised in Miami.
Yeah.
So I want to hear about your Miami youth in a little bit. But first, let me give you an introduction. So guys, Joao Alcolea is the founder of Pushing4New at Pushing4New, N-E-W. He's a community organizer, fitness motivator, and founder of an amazing fitness club. He's Brazilian-Cuban, and he has an amazing story about how his fitness club has really evolved in his own fitness journey. So today we're going to talk about all that and more. We're going to talk about how he's collaborating with Sneaker Impact. We're going to talk about the challenges he's overcome and what his future holds and what his inspirational thoughts are on life in Miami and just helping people, which is what it sounds like you're all about. So Joao, why did you start Pushing4New, and how did it get started?
So this is a long story. It has many phases. I would say the main thing that started was me getting into the gym. Around my junior year of high school, I was like, okay, so I have gynecomastia, right? I don't know if you know that.
Tell us what that is.
So gynecomastia is like a gland in your chest, and it makes it look like, you have a little bit like boobs, and it has it makes a puffiness. And I had that, and I was like, okay, I would hate wearing tank tops or anything tight. So it would show, and then I was like, okay. And then I had a little bit of a belly, but I had skinny arms, skinny legs, and I was like, okay. The only way I can get out of this is going to the gym. So I started going with my best friends to the gym, and I just got addicted quick. I was like, okay, this is where I want to be every day after school. I was there every day. And I became that guy that was always on Snapchat or Instagram posting every day at least one part of my exercise.
Wow.
So like I became quickly that guy that lives in the gym. And fast forward to 2021, I moved away to UCF. I went to in Orlando, and I got there in August, and I would say September or October, I came back down to visit my cousin because he had an event going on.
Mm-hmm.
And during that time, like during that weekend that I was here, I ended up breaking my hand, and I had to get surgery on my hand. So I was like, there's no point in me going back to Orlando. Like most of my classes are online. I could figure it out. So I just stayed out at my mom's house for the meantime while I recovered, and I had less expenses here than I were to if I would go back to Orlando. So then I stayed here for like I think it was till like January, December, but I had three friends that were very big into powerlifting at that time. So they were like, "Oh, let's go work out. Since you really can't do anything with your hand, let's go hit legs."
Okay.
Cool. And we start hitting legs, and I see these guys are putting up numbers, like they're moving weight, and I was like, "Damn, like I never tried this for myself, or like why not?" And I had so much fun, and they also had Instagrams aside from their personal Instagram. They had an Instagram page for their fitness journey, like to log their powerlifting and all that. So that stayed in the back of my mind. I got back to Orlando, and I was like, why not? Like I'm basically hit a reset. I've been out of the gym for 4 months. There's a reset. Let me start posting, and like I keep track of my numbers there. And I was just posting. Like I'll put my phone on the corner of the floor, just prop it up, record, and nothing crazy, no edits, no nothing, just straight raw footage. And slowly I started getting followers. People started like telling me, hey, like I want to start working out. Can you get me a program? Like can you give me advice? Do you have any tips that I can get? And that was like the biggest thing. Like I was excited. I would write people paragraphs telling them everything I know, everything they should do. I would send them videos. I went above and beyond. And little by little I started like getting recognition for it. And people started asking me like, oh, are you selling them? And I was like, I'm in college. I'm a little broke. Like, why not? So I started selling 8, 12, and 16-week programs. And my programs weren't like, oh, to make you a bodybuilder, a powerlifter, none of that. Most of the people were just the average Joe that wanted to work out, get fit. So they wanted a simple program. And I knew how to make it fun, simple, and effective where you weren't getting burnt out. You weren't getting tired. You were still enjoying it. And fast forward to the biggest part of Pushing for New now was last year before International Running Day. Like that week before, because I know South Beach Run Club is on Thursdays.
Yes.
My friend goes to South Beach Run Club. He posts his Instagram. I was like, damn, that looks fun. Like, that looks super cool. And I was like, oh, let me know when's the next one. He tells me, next Wednesday's International Running Day. Let's go. And that was his first time going to a run thing, too. So it was like, we're like, okay, let's go do this together.
Yeah.
I went out there, man, like, the whole atmosphere of, like, first of all, giving away stuff, the energy of everybody supporting each other, the views in Brickell. Like, literally every excuse, because I hated running. I truly hated running. I was like, why? Like, I'd rather just go lift some weights. And I started I went to that run, and I loved it. And then literally after I went out with one of the Pacers and my friend. He knew some people that were there. I went out with one of the Pacers to go eat at Rice, and she started telling me her story of how she became a runner, how she got involved as a Pacer. Shout out to Ashley. And like, I got so motivated. She was like, why not? Like, like try it out. And literally from then on, I was like, this is what I got to do. And I was like, it's free. You could do it anywhere, and you could do it at any time. Because with weightlifting, I had to convince people to get a gym membership. I'm in Orlando, so if I'm doing online programs, I can't correct your form. I can't motivate you, be like, oh, let's go to the gym today, let's go train. Like, there's only so much I could do. And with running, it was like, running is super simple. Like, you literally just have to put miles on your feet and you will learn.
Sure.
And then you get advice, you go to coaches if you want to get to another level.
Yeah, you can go levels deeper. It gets more complex.
Exactly. Like but
there are some runners who take it so serious they have everything broken down by the hour of the day, in terms of nutrition and recovery and workouts. But that's true. I mean, just getting started, it's all about just having fun and socializing. And,
right. And especially if your goal is not to be a marathoner, you just want to get active. Yeah. Running, you could do simple.
Yep.
And so I was like, okay. I started going, and then backtrack a little bit, like 3 months before I went to that event, I started working as a behavior therapist with children that have autism.
Oh, wow.
And then I was like, okay, then fast forward now to like back to the 3 months. So I went to the International Running Day. I enjoyed it. Like, I think that same week, I was like, I would love to replicate this, like same route, Brickell views, everything. I was like, you know what? Let's go. Let's replicate this. And I was like, okay, what I'm gonna do is, like Joe Robbins said with his 4 pillars, I want to give back to the charity. I was like, okay, the same charity that gave me a 40-hour course for free to become a behavior therapist, I want to give back to them. So I had one of my friends design a shirt. I was like, I want you to make P4N, Pushing for New, make a puzzle piece, and we're going to sell these tank tops. We're going to make all the money that comes with it, and we're going to donate it to Autism Partnership Foundation. And I was mind blown by how many people showed up.
Wow.
From Miami Lakes, which is my main area, to get people to go to Brickell on a Saturday afternoon where I know there's plenty of things they could be doing in Miami.
Sure.
To have like around 100 and something people come out to my first event.
Whoa, your first event got
First
over 100.
event.
That's incredible. I mean,
And-
I've had my own run clubs. I've never gotten 100 people.
And that's what I'm saying. I was like, when I
I'm a
saw 100
serious
people,
runner. Yeah,
I was
so
like, 100 people for my first event.
Wow.
Like
And
mind
on a
blowing.
Saturday, that's impressive too, because probably Saturday morning, right?
No, Saturday like sunset.
Oh, wow.
Because I wanted that sunset view.
That's
Because
still
that's
even
how
harder.
that's how I experienced it.
Because you usually think of Saturday morning for fitness.
Right.
But in terms of, with Miami, we either have to run in the morning or in the late afternoon, evening because of the heat.
Yeah, literally.
So what does Pushing for New mean to you?
So those same friends that had that Instagram, they had like one of them. His name was Just Lift the Weight. So like I was trying to like get in that spectrum of like how do I involve like with fitness, and you know when you work out, it's either push, pull, or legs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously his was lift. So then I was like push, pull, and then I was like push, and then I was like push. When you push, you go forward. My goal is always to encourage people to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like okay, pushing, and then I was like pushing for new, and like pushing for new just came out naturally, and I was like I like that, like it flows off the tongue.
Yeah.
It's like and it was. Oh, I
It's all
felt like it was
about
cool.
new life, new energy, new health.
Exactly.
You're not pushing to the old, to the past. You're pushing to the new, to the new you.
Exactly. And every day is something new.
Yep.
Whether it's a new idea, new ambition, new goal,
Mm-hmm.
new lifestyle, whatever it is. Like, 'cause I don't tie myself only to fitness. Yes, fitness is a big part of me. But like, a lot of my conversations don't always involve fitness. Like, I'm encouraging people to start this project, start this idea. Because a lot of people get psyched out with, the negativity that's in the world. They're like, they see these big projects and they're like, oh, I don't know how to do this, or people are scared to take the next leap.
Mm-hmm.
So I always just try to encourage people because I'm blessed with the ability to like have conversations with people and just change their complete mindset into the positive manner. Like I'm a glass half full kind of person.
Yeah, I can tell you're very optimistic.
Thank
Have
you,
you
thank you.
always been this way? Have you, from your youth, when
No.
you were a kid?
No.
Brothers and sisters, or you family life? I mean, how did this all start?
That
Where did you get
mindset?
I know you said you were a little self-conscious in high school.
Yeah.
But where did this mindset come from?
My mom.
Really?
My mom. Yeah.
Tell us a little more.
So.
Yeah.
I was talking got me
Seltzer
dry.
water. Yeah.
So, my mom literally has like, well, I say, my mom literally my whole life has been like my number one fan, number one cheerleader. Like anything I think about, she's there.
Nice.
And she's always been like optimistic on anything I wanted to do. So, and then like any idea, like back in middle school, high school, if I could, like I was big into shoes. I was like a sneakerhead.
Mm-hmm.
If I could sell shoes, if I can sell anything, because like my parents weren't blessed enough. Like after like I became like, in my teenage, like 13, 12 around there, my parents had enough money to put a roof over our head and give me food, right? And the house is good, everything is good, but I wanted shoes, I wanted clothes, I wanted the streetwear, all of that. So my mom always told me, my mom always showed me an example. She's like, if you want something, go get it. So guess what I started? I'll buy one pair of shoes, I'll flip it for maybe another $20, $30 on profit, or I'll sell chips, I'll sell chocolate, like anything
Wow.
I could make money off of, I was doing it. Like,
So you were an entrepreneur at a young age.
yeah, like anything. And my parents taught me that early. They're like,
You understood the economy of consuming, of
Yeah.
consumerism, which is that some people just want things easy, convenience-wise, and you can help them with that.
yeah.
But you also probably had some integrity with it, I'm sure. Like you weren't
Yeah.
just gonna do things in the wrong way. You were.
No, yeah, I was raised in a household that we're very like we have a lot of integrity. We're like there's no cutting corners, there's no like scamming people, there's like none of that. Like, we're gonna do things the right way, and if you want more out of life, you gotta work for it.
Work for it, yep.
And it's not
Same
gonna come
thing
easy.
in fitness. I mean, you can try to cut corners with, I'm sure, as you've seen in the fitness industry, some people probably take synthetic forget about synthetic, but maybe things that aren't good for their body, or maybe, there's really no way to cheat to get healthy, I don't think.
At all. And a lot of people want to cheat.
You can try to look super jacked, but you
Yeah.
might not be healthy.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, you just jumped from here to here. But I think the best part of all of, like, the whole fitness journey is the journey. The little things that you learn about yourself, the little things that you discover along the way, like I truly think that's why we all like value all of this more. I'm pretty sure with all the marathons that you ran, every time you run, you learn something new about yourself. You learn something new about the course. Like those are the fun things that you learn every time, and you get to apply it or help somebody else learn something. You know?
Yeah, and you just continue living healthy. Like I don't want to stop running or being healthy, which involves good sleep, which involves good nutrition. I rarely even have one beer anymore. But when I was younger, I used to have a fair amount of alcohol. And I used to sometimes go the wrong way, a little bit down a path that I shouldn't have gone. But I realized that that's not good for you. And running is good for you. Lifting weights is good for you. Yoga, all these things, Pilates, biking, swimming. I do a lot of different things besides run. But ultimately, as I'm approaching 50 in a couple of years, I still feel like I'm 20 or 30 years old, and I want to keep that feeling.
Right.
And that's what running a marathon or training or going to your group will help give you that energy versus, going to the clubs and being destructive, with your body and your soul. And you literally lose a whole weekend, and then you also start to just not be motivated anymore, and you can lose the motivation really quick.
Yeah.
And some people work out for a short period of their life,
Yeah.
But I think the goal would be I know for me, I don't want to stop running, because if you stop, like there's a saying, and I don't 100% subscribe to it, but if you slow down, you're going down.
Yeah.
So why slow down in the terms of, that just means don't slow down in being healthy, It doesn't mean like you can't pause and meditate on things and reflect, and you should have recovery days. But, if you stop running for a whole year, it's really hard to get back into running. If you stop lifting weights for a year or even 6 months, I'm sure if all of a sudden your life were to change because you would get caught up in the wrong thing, you would struggle, and you'd be like, it's a reflection point. And that's what happened to me. Do I want to go down this path? Like I was a DJ and I still am. And do I want to hang out with all these people late at night, or do I want to wake up early in the morning and train hard and be the best runner I can be, and also help others as a coach? How about you? Like, have you always wanted to help others? Because as a coach with your Pushing for New group, you're helping a lot of people. Have you always been this type of giver?
Yeah, my mom always, like, obviously I was way too young like to remember these stories, but my mom like always tells me these stories. She's like, I would be 2 or 3 years old, and we'll drive by, like, maybe there's a homeless person or something like that, and I would beg my mom to stop just to give this guy the rest of my McDonald's or something. Like,
wow.
It was like I even get like shocked at those stories. I'm like, a 3-year-old, like, like naturally wanting to do those things. And maybe it comes because of the examples of my parents. My dad would literally leave his jobs, like, because my dad works construction. He would leave his jobs if it meant to, like, go help his friend real quick build something in his bathroom, or a plumbing busted, or, something like that.
Very generous, very giving to his friends and family and those who need help.
Exactly. And my parents have always led me by example with that. So I feel like just naturally I've always wanted to help people. And that's how I kind of like, I always wanted to be a doctor because I was like, I want to help people. And I always wanted to be a pediatrician because I wanted to help children, because I guess I was a child. So I was like, I want to help people just like me.
Yeah.
So that was how I started getting into the health field. And my goal is really always just to help people. And if I have the knowledge, if I have the knowledge, I have the experience, I have the words, why not?
Absolutely. Yeah. We were talking the other day in the last podcast about how a coach is someone who really encourages people.
Yeah.
I think that word encourage is really important. Like, I'm a high school coach, and last night we had our sports banquet. And I've been doing it for 15 years, and I really reflect upon, I'm not doing it for the money. It's really not much money.
Yeah.
It's not much money at all. I'm making hundreds of trips to the high school, and it's a long drive. And I'm spending a lot of time with these kids who end up going to college, and sometimes we lose track of each other. But ultimately, I'm having a big impact in their life, and which humbles me, because I'm kind of like a third parent to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they are my kids. And you give a lot, and it's not about the money you're getting paid or about the fame. Because 15 years, oh wow, that's so cool. But no, it's like, even the first year felt so special, helping these kids from 5th graders to seniors for the cross country team and the track team. And I coach soccer a little bit too, but it just was such a rewarding, you feel so good, and you really can see as they develop, just you feel good about seeing them grow and turn 100%. Into leaders. And I'm sure people not only are getting stronger in your club, but they're also probably becoming more self-confident, more disciplined, more focused, more patient, more, finding their why in life,
Yeah, 1,000%.
We talked about your why, and, tell us a little bit more about your work with children. Is that with autism? Is that your full-time job?
Right now, yes.
Okay.
So
what does that entail? You work with children with
autism, yeah. With any behavior disorder, but right now I'm currently working with autistic children.
Okay.
But
in a school program, like a alternative school, or
right now I only work with one client because it's a certain specific amount of hours you have to work with them, and I work with them like in a facility where I'll spend most of the day with him, and we'll work on things like that need to be targeted.
Yeah.
But that idea, back to like how I the whole idea of me walking into ending up in this field.
Yeah.
So in high school, my idea was always to be, since middle school, it was to be in physical therapy. And so I was like, okay, I love physical therapy. This is where I want to be. Like, it's the sports side, and I also get to help others. And towards, high school, I went to a technical college, technical high school. And the physical therapy program shut off in, like, my sophomore year. So they threw us into nursing. And so I was able to get my CNA. I did I was able to stay the whole year for LPN.
Okay.
But to get the LPN license, I had to go to post-secondary. And I knew I didn't want to do that. So I was like,
what is LPN? Because I know Certified Nursing Associate, right?
Assistant.
Assistant.
Yeah.
Okay. What's
an
LPN?
LPN is licensed practical nurse, if I'm not mistaken. Honestly, I don't remember too much of those things, but...
So you started down the nursing path.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I only went to that program because I was like, this is generalized information. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why not, get as much information and experience?
Sure.
And then I wasn't going to stay.
College?
No, this is high school. But my high school, instead of having sports, I didn't have sports. So towards the last two classes, the last period of the day, you would go into your academy.
Like a vocational,
it was a vocational high school.
Prepare you for employment or for working.
Yeah, for working. If you want to continue that path.
But you missed out on sports. Do you ever feel you wish you would have had a sports program?
I always wished I was in sports, and I guess that's why I'm so big into fitness now because I missed out on the camaraderie, the environment.
What sports do you think you would have played?
I always liked basketball.
Yeah.
Basketball and football. I don't like watching football as much, but I like playing football.
Okay.
But I don't know.
So American football with the throwing.
Yeah. I'm a disappointing Brazilian. I was never. I turned on soccer for the World Cup, and that's about it. Like
You like watching it though?
Yeah, I like watching the World Cup, like the elites. Sure. Because 90 minutes, sometimes
it's a long game.
Yeah, it's a long game.
I grew up playing soccer.
Oh,
I played until I was 28.
Oh, nice.
And then I became a marathon runner, but I didn't run in high school. But I played soccer in high school and tennis.
Nice.
But yeah, I wasn't tall enough to probably play basketball. You could. You just have to be exceptionally talented.
Yeah, and my height. I'm surprised I made it to my height because both of my parents are 5'2".
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
You're
I thought I was stuck.
5'10" or so because you're a couple inches taller.
I wish. I'm like, my license says 5'9", but
okay.
I don't
Mine
think that's
says 5'9"
accurate
too. I think you got an inch on me. So.
But I don't know.
You can say 5'10" if you want.
I think when I tell people I'm 5'9", they're like,
I got measured at it's funny because me and my ex-girlfriend have this conversation. We're best friends, and she's like, you're not 5'9", because she's like an inch or two smaller than me, and she thinks she's like 5'5", and I'm like, I went to my physical a year or two ago. They measured me and they said 5'9", and I sent her the photo, and I was like, the nurse just told me I'm 5'9" without my shoes on, so I'm 5'9" because that's what my drive's. So and I think we could do a cute little thing at the stand-up side, but we don't have the camera set up right. We're telling you we're going to get a third camera in here soon, but man, we're going to have you back.
The next episode we'll do the height comparison.
Yeah, we'll do the height comparison. We'll get Jazz in here, and because I think you got me by half an inch or so.
Yeah, I don't know. I got these On shoes.
Ooh, yeah, nice.
So they do give me a little boost.
Nice. So how do you feel about On? You like them?
I have a long story. No, I don't have a long story with On, but I think since January, since February, I started partnering up with the On here in Design District.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know that store well. I know people who work there.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I'm really close with most of the people that work there.
Yeah, my friend Carlos. I think Alex is who we know. Yeah, my boss, Mo, knows Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
They brought us a bunch of shoes, by the way, singles.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
That they didn't need anymore. Singles, just one shoe.
Yeah.
They brought us 100 of them, and we're finding them a new home.
That's
we're
amazing.
trying to pair them up with the second shoe, but sorry to interrupt you. You said you got some friends there?
Yeah. Alex. So Alex, Jason, Mello, I know that I'm missing one right now.
How did you make friends at the On Design District store? You live in Miami Lakes, right? That's super far away.
So my friend Mello, he started work. I've known Mello.
Or Meadow?
Mello.
Mello.
Mello. MELO.
Like chill.
Yeah, like Mello.
Okay.
He started working there towards the end of last year, and I've known him since I was in high school, and
wow,
we're really close.
So random.
He started working there, and then I started like showing up to the run club. They had me
Yeah, they have a run
pacing
club,
for
right?
their Miami Marathon shakeout run.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that was a huge position that, I thank them for putting me in.
Yeah.
And I've supported them. I truly love, this is not a sponsor,
No.
none of this. I truly love that environment that they have in that store
Mm-hmm.
amongst the team, and also the brand. Like I really like the focus that they have, like, encouraging people, especially like their last campaign called Soft Wins.
Okay, tell me
Like,
about that.
there's a soft win, so it's for the cloud surfer too. So the soft wins was like
Soft
basically
wind.
soft wins, like wins, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because how, like, for example, like Nike is doing this campaign, or like all
Go
elite, yeah,
hard.
go hard.
Yeah.
They went the opposite end of
Soft
soft
wins.
wins, especially as their shoes are super soft.
That's low key, like really cool.
Yeah, so I was
Kids
like,
say low key nowadays.
yeah,
right?
yeah, low key.
Yeah.
But that campaign, like, I truly loved it because
Yeah.
that's kind of resembles what Pushing for New is about. Pushing for New is about like, I'm not really trying to make people marathoners, elite powerlifters. Like, I'm just trying to get you to enjoy the aspect of moving your body, and maybe before you only do half a mile without stopping. Now you can do a mile. Like, those are soft
And if
wins.
you can do 10, that's incredible. But you're not making people feel bad, or it's not about making them feel bad. But I feel like a lot of run clubs, and mine especially, I used to have 2 or 3 run clubs in Miami Beach back in the day, starting in 2010 all the way to 2022. COVID kind of put a little damper on it all, but mine was focused. I mean, we had a Sunday morning run club where we would do long runs. Everyone would do like 6 miles at least, but some people were doing like 20 from South Point Park, and we'd start at sunrise, and we'd have fruit afterwards. It was called Form First Run Club, and then I had one at Flamingo Park in Miami Beach, Flamingo Track, called Project 305, and that was for very serious runners. We did allow all levels, but it was a very, very serious group of people.
Right.
Like, we were all very fast in general, and people who came were doing monster workouts, like 20 to 30 reps of these track intervals. Sometimes we'd do 10 miles on the track, and we'd be there till they close the place down. So, like, people started to, my reputation was, that I'm pushing people to be their best.
Nice.
And yours is that yours is very similar to Joe's in the sense, Joe Robinson, in that you guys are getting a huge community involved, and you're reaching out to everyone.
Yeah.
And that way you're not making anyone feel intimidated. And I didn't want people to feel intimidated by me, but my personality is very intense. And I'm also very serious. I've run in 51 marathons. I've won several 51? Of them. Yeah, I've won 4 of them. I've run 231 in my 40s.
Wow,
that's
congrats.
that's a 540.
That's super impressive.
Yeah, I never broke 230, but I'm a very serious marathon runner. I've won a lot of money. Not a lot, but I've won like $5,000 to $10,000 in my life running. Like,
congrats.
Whenever you win any money, you're considered a professional.
No, 1,000%.
I had a shoe contract, wasn't paid. I just got free shoes from a company in Sweden that was represented for 3 or 4 years. But that was a big deal. I was the only person in Miami with a shoe contract that I knew, and it was an opportunity through a running store. But like, these things didn't pay the bills.
Yeah.
I still had to have a full-time job, and still I was a small fish in a big pond. Once I left Miami, sure, I won a lot of races here. I won a lot of half marathons and 5Ks. I won the Tropical 5K 3 years in a row in the 15s, and that's hard to win a race 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
I won the Halloween half marathon 9 times in Miami Beach.
Sheesh.
Yeah, and I got second place last year at 46 years old.
You're killing it.
Even after Achilles surgery, so which I had 2 of them in the last year, so that humbled me. But even so, when I would travel to Boston, Berlin, Chicago, New York, LA, London, I've competed all over the world, I would get 200th place. And I never made the Olympic trials or Olympics. I was never in the top 100 in the U.S. for the marathon. Mm-hmm. So there's always someone that's faster than you.
Yeah.
Even in Miami, there are some incredibly talented runners now. And I'm kind of more now a master's runner. That means you're over 40. But I'm just saying that it really gives you perspective that when you're younger, I think you want to be the best you can be always. And you really have this dream. Like, I wanted to make the Olympic trials. And I was close.
There's nothing wrong with having that mentality, though.
Yeah, I was fairly close. There's nothing wrong with having the mentality. I just didn't quite get there, but I was so fierce that I didn't go to birthday parties. I didn't go to anything. I didn't go out dancing for years in my 30s. I didn't start dancing in Miami till my 40s. Yeah, I started going to like Club Space when I was like 39 years old. And I moved here when I was 30.
It's never too late, though.
No, it's never too late. No, and then I realized that's too much on dancing, but it's fun to go out and experience other parts of life. And I think what you're doing with Pushing for New is really inspiring, because to get 100 people at your first run is incredible, bro. Like I would get like a dozen people and feel happy.
Yeah.
With a dozen people come up. We got 30 to 40 once in a while, but I mean, Joe is getting thousands that we run 313 in Detroit because he's reaching out to the community.
Yeah.
And they're doing 2 Mile Tuesdays and they're supporting everyone. And he really has a way of connecting and detaching his personal story because Joe's a good runner.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you're a really good athlete too. But it's not
about
runner,
your
story.
And that's why Pushing for New represents, like, that's why I feel like a lot of people like, I can connect so well because I'm not, like, my brand isn't about being, like, the fastest, none of that. Like, no. I also like to go out. I like to have a good time with my friends. Like, I like to live a balanced life.
Okay.
And that's where my brand is really focusing on. Because a lot of people get confused with the black or white. People think it's either you're all in with running and active lifestyle or you're not doing anything. I'm trying to focus on that grayscale.
Yeah, I was all in.
Yeah, exactly.
My coach told me you can either have fun or you can be the best you can be.
Yeah.
He's like, you can either do all these races you want to do. He didn't even mean by having fun go out and dance.
Yeah.
He meant I was doing too many local races. He wanted me to focus on just the Olympic trials and on 1 or 2 races a year and not do all these other races that I was winning and getting a lot of public acclaim and local fame. But
that's a different perspective though, because that's in terms of like how bad do you want to be?
I want to be a professional.
Exactly, you wanted to be a professional, but I'm talking about like people that, for example, like let's say this lady Nancy, she wants to get active, but she's intimidated by the fact that like it's either black. She has the mentality of black or white. She's like she has to be running 5Ks at this time, or she just shouldn't move at all. And I'm trying to get people to at least just move.
Or she's worried what people might think if she comes out, what she's going to look like.
Exactly.
A lot of people feel like,
or her time, or what group she's in a race. She's slow.
Am I going to be the slowest person there? Am I going to be in the back?
Exactly.
And by myself? Yeah.
And that's where my focus is on. I try to focus on people that are like, are intimidated. So I've had all this, I know all the excuses in the book. And I lived it myself. Like, I didn't start running till last year. I'm not the fastest. I'm not the most athletic. I might not have the best form. But, like, I'm just going out there and moving my body. And I always tell people, go running 5 times, and you're going to see how you enjoy it after.
And that's why regret it.
You're not going to regret it. And that's why my run club is monthly. Because
Monthly?
I do it monthly. I do it monthly because, honestly, with weekly, I feel like it's a lot of effort. And I have a lot going on I have a lot on my plate. And so I try to focus on that monthly group being like very unexperienced. I want to give people an experience because the same way I started running because of that great experience at Nike, I want to make people have an experience.
So you're investing a lot of time and energy into one great event a month versus
and
trying
all the
to do
little details.
I was doing it every week and I got burned out, Joao, after 10 years of doing it. Like I never missed a Wednesday. Every single Wednesday I was at Flamingo Track and every single Sunday I was at South Point Park. And I got burned out, you know, and I wasn't charging any money. I was doing it all for free. And you have to have a business side. But I want to, before we get into the business side, because I want to know if that's a goal of yours, walk us through what a monthly meeting of Pushing for New looks like. Like, what do you, when you show up and like what time of day, where it is, and what do you do there? What type of, do you have vendors present? Like, paint us a picture of what the whole, you know, for someone who's never been. And I'm going to come to one.
So I'm doing the one with Sneaker Impact next month, so it's a perfect time to be together.
Yeah.
But so I have a list, right? I've made a list of all the vendors that I like enjoy what they offer. I like their brand model, like I personally know them, and what their goal is, right? In the health and wellness community.
Yeah.
And then I pick locations based on how easy it is for somebody to run that area and not have to worry about cars or, you know, anything getting in the way. Like, I try to make it as hazard-free as possible.
So you rotate locations or you have multiple?
I've only had one run club. Like, this past, 3 weeks ago was my first run club. It's just that, actually, I just noticed that I never finished the story.
That's okay.
Well,
keep finishing it then.
Yeah, I'll finish it at the end. But I've only done my one run club, and it was this month, and it was at the Yards in Hialeah. It was like a pickleball place.
Okay.
And we ran into Amelia Earhart Park, and then
I love Amelia Earhart.
It's a great park.
Yeah, I've been there numerous times. I love it there.
Yeah, it's a great park.
Most people don't know about it. It's kind of hidden.
Yeah, literally, it's
off
the heart of Hialeah.
Yeah, but it's got so much open space.
Yeah.
It's got the little the mountain bike area with
all
the little humps.
Trails. They have everything.
So that was your first run club, but was Pushing for New before that? Was that more?
It was just events.
Fitness.
No, Pushing. So when I did that autism event, right?
Yes.
I did that event, and then that same event is when I was promoting that event. Connie from Miami Lakes Run Club was the first run club owner that like even made herself known. Like, she reposted my flyer, and I was like, there's a run club in Miami Lakes where I'm from. And I was like, I didn't even know run clubs existed. Like, I had no idea. And I went to her run club, and literally, like, we connected like that, like, instantly. Yeah. Like, it's a relationship we have now. Is like, she's my big sister, I'm a little brother.
Wow.
And it's like that. Like, she's taught me a lot when it comes to all of this. And, you know, we've worked together, and then we worked together for 3 events after. We did a turkey trot, which raised over 500 pounds of food.
Whoa.
And it was insane. Like, 150 people came out to that one.
Wow.
And that was my second event. And
no
then,
way. You're a natural, bro.
Thank you. But and then we did a New Year's one. I honestly, I don't remember the numbers on that one. But we did a New Year's run because, you know, everybody New Year, New Year knew me.
New Year's?
We did it in Miami Lakes, this restaurant called La Diosa Taqueria.
Okay.
It was like a taco place. And it was a perfect route. We had did it for the Thanksgiving one too, in the same location. So we did that for New Year's. And then since she also worked in the behavior side. She was an analyst for autistic children.
Okay.
We're like, let's do an autism run together for April. And we did it at Veterans Park in Miami Lakes. Amazing turnout again. And, you know, every time we work together, it's like literally like we bring in that whole area because she's the only one really doing it on that side of Miami, like Miami Lakes and area.
Yeah, where's Miami Lakes? Tell people because some people are joining us from different parts of the country, and Miami's a big city.
Yeah, so
like people think of South Beach and Brickell and Wynwood.
That's Miami, but like we're on the suburbs of Miami. Like we're literally on the most outer northwest edge.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's on the northwest
west
edge.
of 95.
Yeah,
on the northwest edge, so south of Broward County.
Yeah, literally Broward's right here and Miami Lakes is like right here.
Probably close to Miramar.
Yeah, south of Miramar.
South of Miramar, over by Doral, a little north of Doral.
So it's in between
Miramar,
Doral.
Yeah, I mean
in between Doral and between like Miramar and Pembroke Pines.
I've done
and
a
then
lot of driving,
Hialeah's like right there.
I drive all over, and then I put on 5Ks on the weekends. I produce them for a company.
Oh, nice, really?
Split second timing, so we produce them all over South Florida.
Oh, nice.
So
well, actually, I think that was one of the companies because for the April event, we wanted to do an official 5K.
Yeah.
And we wanted to do bibs and all of that.
Timing,
all of that. But we didn't have too much time, and then when we started diving into it, like it's a lot of work. It's expensive and it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, this isn't the right time. So we just did we rented out a pavilion at Veterans Park.
Yeah.
And we put that together, and then
just
that was
did it
like
all on your own, right?
Yeah. And then the following month is like, okay, now it's Pushing for New Run Club, where I'm gonna be doing this monthly because.
Nice.
So a big part of Pushing for New is like I don't meet that many athletic people or people that are even active in their life. Mm-hmm. I meet a lot of 30-year-olds, 50-year-olds, 20-year-olds, like a lot of people that don't involve fitness at all.
Where do you meet these people?
Like let's say at Sedano's or something, like or Walmart, like random conversations, anybody I encounter.
Wow.
And a lot of people bring me those stories.
You're recruiting people at Walmart.
Yeah, anybody who I can have the chance. I'm that guy at the gym.
But also Instagram, I'm sure, too.
Yeah, and anybody have an opportunity to, like, I bring it up. Like, hey, do you run? And I'll just start that conversation. I'll ask them why, what's stopping them. And then my problem was my events were all spaced out 3 months apart. So I'll tell people, be like, oh, you should come out to my event. Oh, when's your event? Like 2 months from now. I was like, okay.
They're going to forget about it.
Exactly. Or their motivation just went away.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, okay, I'm going to do a fourth event, the autism one with Connie from Miami Lakes. And now I've learned a little bit about running. I feel comfortable. I'm confident in what I can do. Mm-hmm. Let's make this a monthly thing. And now whoever I encounter, be like, hey, look, in 2 weeks I have an event. And like that, boom.
Because you should always have something on the calendar.
Exactly. And
even
that's
if it's
goal.
once a month, have it on the calendar.
Yeah.
And even every 2 weeks, because you're doing kind of different stuff a little bit. Like you're doing some fundraisers, you're doing the run club, you're also really, are you still into the lifting scene? Are you still into?
I work out every day. If I miss a gym session, it's crazy to me. Like it hurts me.
Yeah.
But it's balancing the gym.
So maybe
and
you can do some
running.
stuff with that industry too, and getting people like more like boot camp stuff.
That's the thing. I never want to tie myself down to one thing.
Yeah.
Because like if I can help somebody and motivate them through one aspect, like I could care less about numbers. Like as long as I'm impacting a few people, maybe one, I'm happy. Like my goal is just to
if 10 people show up, you're not going to be disappointed.
No, like my run club, coincidentally, there was that F1 weekend. It was pouring that weekend.
Yeah, I remember.
And I'm not gonna lie, I caught myself I was like, hey, I'm on a high right now. Like I've had 100+ people show up to all of my 4 events before.
Yeah.
When I saw 20 people show up, part of me at the beginning was like a little worried. I was like, damn, like, I got caught up so much in that high of like having a lot of people. But then
early success.
Yeah. So then I was like, no, and then I literally caught myself in that moment.
That's a very mature thing to do.
Thank you.
To not get not turn into an ego.
Yeah.
Maniac. Because also when it rains, people don't come out as much.
At all.
For anything. I'm a DJ and also a coach, but when I put on events as a DJ, if it starts raining, that's indoors. People
Yeah.
still don't want to come out to things when it's raining. They just want to hunker down.
Yeah, and I didn't know that it was gonna rain that weekend.
Yeah. And it rained the whole weekend. I was in Atlanta for a conference, but we were watching the F1 at my cousin's house, and it was pouring. Yeah,
pouring like crazy. And I didn't know that it was gonna rain. Like I did not check the weather, and literally like I would go like as people were getting here, I caught myself going twice outside to the park, and I was like, is it just that people are waiting outside? Like, where's everyone at? But then like literally I caught myself. I was like, nah. I remembered why I started this. My goal was like I honestly pushing for new was really created on me motivating my friends. And if I got my 5 friends talking about lifting and that was a point of conversation every time or running, I'm happy.
Your circle is Gucci.
I'm all good. I'm all good. But so then I remembered that I was like, no, 20 people showed up. 20 people showed up in the rain, and people are encouraged to run, and people came out to support what I'm building here. And people are going to have fun. And that's, I was like, okay, I caught myself. Now we're going to make this, we're going to throw away that thought. Yeah. And hopefully never let that happen again.
Well, also when you have, when you take on a big mission like this to be a community organizer and a founder of a fitness club, you're going to have highs and lows. Yeah. Like my dad always says, when you fall in love, you sign up for the highs and the lows. In everything in life, you sign up for you don't sign up for life and just get the highs.
Right.
There's going to be, and that's not even a low. It's just that you got some big highs by getting over 100 people at your first run club, kind of like a roller coaster. Then it was like big rain event, 20 people. You're like questioning yourself. It's also called the hero's journey. You're on the hero's journey. Do you know about that?
No, I don't.
So the hero's journey means the universe is testing you to see if what you really want in life, if you really want it bad enough. So it's going to give you challenges, because if everything was really easy in life, and this is a book, and it was taught to me by one of my mentors, the hero's journey, which means if everyone in life just got to where they wanted to be, like say I wanted, my goal was to make the Olympics. Just do a couple of runs, I'm in the Olympics.
Yeah, no.
If everyone could just be a millionaire, be the fastest person in the world, be the most best looking, have the whatever they want, the nicest car, the biggest boat, whatever their dreams are, the hottest girlfriend, I'm just being cheesy. Obviously you want the sweetest girlfriend and the most loving. But if it was just easy in life, it wouldn't be something that would be something worth, like it's really, I'm having trouble.
There's no value.
There's no value in it when it's not something that takes a lot of work. And challenges, and the universe is, so the hero's journey, the universe is going to give you challenges. It's almost like it's serving you, like, I'm going to serve Joao this challenge of a hurricane came through in his event, or you know what I mean, like, or something like he's going to get a flat tire on the way there, and he's not going to be able to make it to his own event. And then what's going to happen? Someone else is going to have to be in charge of it for that day, or he's going to have to send a message to them.
Right.
Or for me, COVID hit my run club, in the sense that it fell apart during COVID because we had a whole year and a half off and everyone went their separate ways. And then that was a big hero's journey for me, is what do I do now? Like, I could have kept going with it, but I decided to just kind of focus on my personal life, because I hadn't been focusing on my personal life. I've been focusing on, doing all these events. I've been an events director for several companies, including Sneaker Impact. I'm an events director for. We do a lot of national events. We go to Los Angeles Marathon. We've partnered with Miami, with many marathons around the country, and also conferences. And then we put on events, fun runs. I tried to do a little river cleanup where we clean up the river nearby with where the manatees are on paddleboards. I couldn't get more than 1 or 2 people to come, Joao. Wow. I sent out it's called Partyful. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's like Eventbrite, but it's called Partyful. But it's like a way of organizing events. I sent out a bunch of invitations. I posted it on my Instagram. I would show up on a Saturday morning with my paddleboard. No one came. Wow. Just my ex-girlfriend came one time, and then another time on Earth Day, I organized another cleanup of Little River. No one came because it was raining, and I advertised it for weeks. No one came because it was a Tuesday at 5:30, and everyone's just trying to get home from work. But Earth Day was on a Tuesday, but I cleaned up Little River that day by myself.
That's all that matters. You're still putting that effort regardless, and I
still want to organize events. I love to do cleanups.
Well, the next one I'm there.
Okay.
Next one you can count on me. And whatever day of the week,
amazing,
I'm
man.
there.
You're now on my friends list. I know I'm following your account, Pushing4New.
Yeah.
I'm coming to so tell us when your next event is, and it's with Sneaker Impact, and tell us the location.
So my next event is going to be June 14th. It's going to be in Miami Lakes and Veterans Park. It's going to be with Health Depot, Sneaker Impact. We're going to have out there collecting shoes. I'm working with Sweat 440 as well.
Oh, we love Sweat 440.
Yeah, amazing team.
I know one of the founders, Matt Miller.
Oh, yeah? Nice. I work with the Miami Lakes one.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have Velu Laser out there because they're gonna be offering like laser hair removal.
Okay.
Because I know runners, they like to shave their legs so they can, you know, breeze through.
Are they gonna actually do that on site? Hey,
no, they're gonna be offering a free laser hair session though.
Oh, wow.
Like they should be offering the deals
Oh,
out there.
that you have to go to their clinic to get it done.
Yeah.
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 Well, I'm sure the girls like that for the bikini, you know, like
yeah.
mine.
Hey, if that laser hair removal session makes you go outside and makes you want to go run because your skin is clean, by all means.
I mean, in Miami, everyone wants to look good because we're the city that lives in our swimsuits.
Yeah,
you know, in our sandals and our swimsuits.
And our little shorts when we go run.
Yeah. Well, Sneaker Impact's going to promote it like crazy. You got Happy Runner Jazz on your side, and she and me, and we would love to create graphics and promote it. So let's make a clip for sure talking about that event on June 14th. So what day of the week is that?
It's a Saturday. My events are always the first or second Saturday of the month.
So Saturday, June 14th, Pushing for New is going to be at
Veterans
Park in Miami Lakes.
Yeah.
And that's going to be at what time of day?
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
You can bring your shoes to recycle them. Give them a second life.
We're gonna be having B12 shots by Health Depot.
Nice.
And Veluday is gonna be offering the free session and Sweat 440. I'm not sure exactly what we're doing, but we got something nice going on for you guys. And I hope to see as many people come out. Like my goal, like you guys have heard the story. My goal is just to get people active. I'm the type of person like I have my friends pacing for the fast people, and I'm staying all the way in the back because those are the people I care about. Like I'm trying to get everybody to feel encouraged, feel motivated, and you know just keep pushing them.
I love that you're like a very supportive someone.
Yeah.
I once saw on a poster on an inspiration poster said be a supportive someone. Like you're a supportive someone.
Yeah. And that's my goal. Like
someone
whatever
special.
I can support you in.
Yeah, like you don't care about getting the best workout, and you care about motivating others and being in the back.
Yeah,
that's really cool, man. And you want to come help me clean up Little River, which I need the help, man.
Hey, I got you.
You wouldn't believe how much styrofoam's in there, man. When it rains, all the junk goes in there, and the manatees and all the fish and all the birds, and there's crocodiles in there and sharks. They're all it's just like cigarette packages, alcohol. I mean, bro, it's so sad.
I've seen
styrofoam cartons. You know, Miami has a trash problem.
Literally, one time we went to Oleta River State Park.
Yeah,
we were kayaking and we one of my friends dropped her phone.
And that's a state park.
Yeah, my friend dropped her phone in the water, and we're going through like a canal, and we all got out of our kayaks to dig in the there was a lot of mushy stuff like down there. And we pulled out sunglasses, cigarette packs, so much trash out of the
That wasn't even floating on the top.
No,
what we're mainly getting is floating on the top. You know,
Yeah.
we're getting styrofoam lunches that people just throw on the side of the road and stuff. And also a lot of Publix bags and a lot of alcohol bottles.
Yeah.
A lot of alcohol and beer bottles and cigarette stuff. Just like, to be honest, it's, you know, always junk food stuff like the Doritos bags. And it's never something from like Whole Foods or, you know,
Nothing.
Not to say the Whole Foods crowd is perfect. I'm just saying, like, it's the junk food, it's the alcohol, it's the, you know, styrofoam stuff that we don't want in the city. You know,
yeah,
anymore.
literally. Or we don't want to make the efforts to, you know, walk to the nearest trash.
Get it into the trash bin at least. If you're gonna, you know, I will not get styrofoam anymore. If there, I just ask the place, please, you know, like don't use styrofoam. If it's in styrofoam, I'm just gonna eat it there. Like I do. If it's gonna be takeout, I can't use styrofoam because styrofoam never breaks down.
So if what do you do if they don't? Like what
just
do they
eat it there?
Also, you just eat
I always ask them, are you going to put it in styrofoam if it's to go? I try not to get to go because they always put it in a bag and a to go container.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have Tupperware containers that are glass that I actually bring sometimes. Like yesterday we had a sports banquet that was dessert based. And on my run, I was thinking I need to bring my glass Tupperware because I want to bring a piece of this cheesecake home because I will not buy cheesecake or cookies in the store or ice cream. I haven't bought ice cream in years. You gotta beat the temptations. Bro, me and my friends talk about this. I don't keep any sweets at home. The only thing I have that is considered sweet is once in a while dark chocolate bar, Greek yogurt, and chocolate almond milk. Now you know a little bit about my life. I like the chocolate almond milk. I added it to my coffee in the mornings. I go shopping at Aldi's. I'm gonna be super transparent. I'm an Aldi's guy.
Hey, wherever you're getting your groceries, it doesn't matter.
Publix is expensive. I go to Publix once in a while for the BOGOs, but man, I'm a single guy raising 2 cats as a single dad. You know, and I buy my cats really high quality grain-free food, but I shop at Aldi's because I'm saving up to buy a house. Nice. And I've got myself completely out of debt, paid off all my student loans. I have 0 debt to my name. Yeah, that was a big deal
with this Miami economy.
Yeah. No, thank God. I mean, there was a time 2 or 3 years ago I lost my job of 10 years. The corporation went under. They let go of all their employees. It was no fault of my own. I was with them for 10 years. It was an amazing company, and I lost everything, Joao. And I literally had no income. Lost all my income. And I didn't have much savings. And so I had to, just hustle and work like 5 jobs. And that's what I did for a couple of years, was work like 5 jobs. And now I work like 3 or 4. So I'm still, Sneaker Impact's my main job, but I work 2 or 3 jobs on the side. I'm a brand ambassador for several companies. I'm a high school coach. I'm a DJ. I time events on the weekend for split-second timing. And just I'm on a gig economy.
Jack of all trades.
Just anytime they need me, numerous bosses I have, they call me, Brian, we need you for this event. I'm there. You know? So I'm just...
And those are things that teach you a lot, working those events, and then eventually when you get what you want, like when you buy your house, you're going to be like, that was worth it.
Exactly. And someday when I have kids, I'll settle down a little bit. But right now I don't have... I mean, my only kids are the ones I coach. But I don't have any kids yet, and I don't have a wife. So I can just work 5 jobs. And hustle, And
that's right now what I'm on. Literally since I think it was January, February. My best friend is my photographer and videographer. And I literally told him, because that's always been his passion since we're like since middle school, since I met him in middle school. We would take pictures of our shoes. Like we'll go by the puddle and like get the reflection of the puddle, take our shoes. So I knew that was always his thing. And this year I was like, I really want to take serious this content, because that's the way I'm going to get my message out there. That's what's going to be reminding people that running is an option, that you can go out there to these health and wellness events. And then so I was like, you know what? And since then we've been on this long streak of posting 3 to 4 videos a week, and
nice.
Like it's literally every day. Like
Content.
We're together. It's like we both get out of work at 4, and we're going to the gym, and then we'll sit in the gym. Like we'll go to the gym, and literally from 8 to like 10 or 11, we'll sit in that parking lot of the gym, editing videos, editing pictures, like reaching out to places. Like we're literally on this mode right now of just hustling and taking advantage that like we're living with our parents. We're like we have the opportunity, so it's like if we have to drive and we have goals. We got to go out there and get them. And
that's amazing, because some people are trying to live this lifestyle that they can't afford in Miami. You see it a lot. You see it a lot.
And to just
they're running up credit card debt, just to live in some fancy apartment or to have a fancy car.
And nobody wants to work hard.
Go out and party.
Nobody wants to work hard. Like these past like 3 months, like I have barely seen my friends on weekends. Like I'll try to make the time every once in a while, but like right now I'm in that mode where I'm like, I'm waking up at 6 a.m, and if I gotta come back at 7 o'clock at night from shooting content all day, we're gonna make this happen, because like nobody, like the only one that could save me and make my dreams happen is me. So that means I gotta sacrifice. To save you.
I always say that to my closest friends. No one's come to save you. You got to save yourself.
Exactly.
This isn't an orphanage in this world, you know.
And this shirt actually says that. I don't know.
Look at the back
of the shirt. I don't think it's
no, you can.
Push yourself because no one else will.
Push yourself because no one else will. I love that. Wow.
And that's.
I just noticed you're wearing a Pushing for New shirt.
Yeah, there's one of the first shirts that I dropped, and still to this day my favorite.
So can people get a shirt at your run club? Do they support by? Do you sell them, or how does that work?
No, when I decide to make the design, when I have a design done, my friend Chris, he designs all my shirts and everything. And when I decided to drop them, I just dropped them. Like this Friday, I'm actually dropping tank tops that he designed, and that whatever all the money that I get from those, like it all goes back into everything that I'm spending. Like whether it's paying my friend as a videographer, I pay him because like he.
You have a videographer at every run club.
Yeah, so my friend, the one that I was telling you, he does the content with me, Jacob. Yeah. Jacob literally goes with me to every event,
especially your events. Yeah.
My events, any events we're gonna shoot for. Like anything we can do, like we're out there, and he has to make money too. So I'll pay him, I'll get him equipment, and whatever I can. All the money that I get from my job, I just dump it right back into everything I can.
You're investing it back into your group, into your organization.
Exactly.
Have you created a business structure for it yet? Is that a goal of yours?
Honestly, I'm like I have this very like strong like foundation of mentally, of like. I don't create specific goals, and I know a lot of people say make specific goals in life so then you can like chase them and attain them, but my main goal is literally just help people live a happy lifestyle and just get people active. Those 3 things, and that has allowed me to like be open to anything that comes my way. Like if I weren't living with that mentality, I would have never been open to like let me go try running. And look where running has me. Like I'm literally on a podcast. That's something I've always wanted to be on. And to share my stories. So I was like, that's why I firmly believe is like you create an idea of what you want to do. That's like a big picture, and just go with it. And just every day I wake up with I literally every night I go to sleep I pray. I say, God, just bless me with the opportunity to motivate people, to encourage them, and to bring love and share love. And that's all I care.
Wow, that's how you get paid, is through love.
Yeah. And just having people smiling.
Abundance is going to come naturally through that action too. You're going to you're attracting abundance by being a good person.
Yeah, and honestly, like the best part about it is I don't even care about abundance. Like, yes, having a luxury lifestyle, having this house, it would all be great. It would be great, but that's not what I'm seeking.
It will come with consistency.
Yeah, but like I said, like that's not what I'm seeking. Like I would love it.
I'm just saying,
who wouldn't want to suffice
at
the
the
house?
rate you're growing. I mean, so my just small advice would be to create an LLC if you haven't already.
I do. Like
Okay.
I have all the business side, like LLC, all that.
I have 2 LLCs in my life, but one currently, and I had one before when I worked in Wisconsin. But basically, LLC is the first step. Create a business bank account so you can keep your business finances separate than your personal.
Of course.
That's just the 2 quick advices I have, and then maybe have a budget.
No, yeah, I have
and
all that.
Obviously, have a good accountant because you have to do your yearly reports.
Yeah,
like the annual LLC renewal report and whatever the filing that you have to do for if you made money or lost money.
Yeah, of course.
You can write off a lot of things too when you
tell me about
your
it.
car,
like, anything I can, I'm
your
throwing
computer,
in there. Like all these events,
any clothes,
everything that I
all the
like,
food you got to buy,
everything,
videographer, that all's a write off. To be honest,
because
that's
it's
a business
part of the
expense.
expenses. Yeah,
and you're a young company. I mean, right now, but in a couple of years, you could be just like Brickell Run Club. They have a business structure. South Beach.
That's my goal. Honestly, like it's
Frankie,
funny enough, Frankie.
He's my dear friend. I've known him for 15 years.
I had watched the podcast with him.
He's my mentor here. He's the one who got me my job here.
Oh, really?
I've known him since 2008.
Wow, that's super
I went to the first Brickell Run Club ever.
First ever Brickell Run Club?
Yes, 2013. I was at the first one. I was at one of his first South Beach Run Clubs. I went to like the first 5 to 10 because I worked at Mr. R's, which was a running store in Miami Beach that was more of a fashion shoe store. It was on Lincoln and Washington. Old school Miami Beach heads will know Mr. R's because he opened in 1974. The store used to be called like 19-something, 74, 72. But basically, his name is Joe, I forget his last name, R, and the store was called Mr. R's on the corner of Washington and Lincoln. Like, that's an iconic corner. Like, right now, Zara is there, and McDonald's. But it used to be Mr. R's. I was an employee there when I first moved to Miami Beach in 2008, and I restarted my life moving here from Wisconsin. And as an employee there, it was a Nike store. They had the Nike Run Club, but it had just started that year with Frankie Ruiz.
Wow.
And he had founded the Miami Marathon in 2002. I'm sure he's going to listen to this podcast. We talk every single week, so
that would be cool.
He definitely watches. His name gets shouted out a lot because a lot of my guests know him. But basically, he's been a big time, and we're the exact same age, but he's like a big time mentor to me, like an older brother in the sense that like he's helped me so much over the years. I've won some of his races where he's been biking next to me in the race, and Turkey Trot I won multiple times over at Tropical Park, the 10K. And other races of his, Tropical 5K. And he's always had my back. I've known him for so long. He's a man of integrity. He also cares so much about the community. He's the city's chief wellness officer. And what he's created with first South Beach, started at Mr. R's, then they moved to the the Nike store. But it's evolved a lot. And then he got this suggestion from someone at the Run Club to start one in Brickell. My friend Luisi was one of the people. Shout out to Luisi. She's a Brazilian woman,
nice.
Luisi Roca. And she's going to be back this weekend, but she's been with the Run Club scene forever down here. And she's not even a traditional runner. She was the one in the very far back. They call her a GoPro girl because she holds up a GoPro. That's her Instagram, is GoPro girl.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so she's super outgoing, and she wasn't the fast runner at all. She was the one that would just walk most of the run. But she came to every Run Club. And so at Run Club in South Beach in 2008, I didn't know anyone in Miami. I just knew my ex-girlfriend, who was a different ex-girlfriend, but I met a girl in Wisconsin who was from Miami, and we moved down here together. Stayed friends, but didn't stay in the relationship, and stayed best friends. And then I only had one friend down here, my friend Fabiola. This was 2007. I went to South Beach Run Club. I met 100 people within the first week or two. Oh, it was in its first year, but within the first couple of weeks, it grew to 100 people. And it was just a really tight group. We would always go out afterwards as a group to have food and drinks on Lincoln Road.
Nice.
And we would also celebrate birthdays together. So very similar to what's going on now, because like this was like a different generation. Mm-hmm. Like now a lot of these people are married and have kids and like live either in different parts of the country or in Broward. They have a house in Weston and they're raising 3 or 4 kids and they're not going to Run Club anymore necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't go to Run Club as much anymore now because I'm focusing on my health a little bit because I had 2 Achilles surgeries. But I'm just saying I see a lot of similarities between today's Run Club scene and what it was in the past. The big difference now is social media.
Yeah.
We didn't have social media in 2007.
It was all word of mouth.
It was all word of mouth, flyers. They did have Facebook. It was the early days of Facebook, but we didn't have Instagram. We didn't have TikTok. I don't use TikTok, but we didn't have TikTok, Snap. We didn't have any of these things, bro. Nothing. It was just like a tiny bit of Facebook and mainly like, what do you call it? Meetup.com and like the early days of the internet. But we still organized and gathered, and it was the same energy of, oh my God, I'm meeting a dozen people a night, 2 dozen, 3 dozen, 5 dozen people, and these are all new friends, and everyone wants to be your friend. And I had to, actually, I joined Facebook because of Run Club. Wow. I wasn't on it because I was one of those people that didn't want to be on it at first, because I was like, I don't want to be on Facebook. I was like, why? I was a holdout. I actually was proud that I wasn't on Facebook.
I was like me with TikTok back then.
I was like, I don't want to be on Facebook. And then I came to Miami and I made so many friends. I'm like, I'm never going to be able to remember all their names if I don't see them on Facebook and see their faces. So that was the only reason I joined. That's an insight into my life, is I joined social. I didn't want to be on social media. But now with Sneaker Impact, we're all over social media. You gotta be on
social media.
Because, I mean, this podcast studio, I mean, it's meant for social media. YouTube, How about you? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you do TikTok? Do you do anything else?
Just straight up Instagram, and that's about it.
So all your content's going onto Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've posted on TikTok
and
before.
And you have a website too, right?
And I have a website that
which we're going to put in the description.
Gives a little bit more about me, the brand, and some of the events that we've done.
Yeah.
But in terms of TikTok, like I've tried posting on TikTok a couple of times, but the way I edit videos, like I'll use songs, and then when I go to post them on TikTok, it gets muted. So I was like, you know what? Yeah.
So you can't use music on TikTok?
You can't.
Or you have to use it like.
You have to use it directly from the app. But the way like I would edit, like I would have a different way of formatting.
Yeah.
Or like song selection and all that, and TikTok wouldn't have the song.
What do you use for your editing? I'm curious. CapCut.
I use CapCut, and then what was the other app? It's called VN or something like that.
Okay.
Because that's the only way I can export sometimes from my
I've
phone.
never used CapCut, but so many people use it.
It's the easiest app that
I should get it. Yeah.
And there's tutorials, and like you can look up on TikTok.
Do you have the free version, or do you pay for one?
No, I paid for it.
That's probably get a lot more power out of it.
Oh yeah, you have to like. It gets to a point where like if you want to get to another level, you have to.
Oh sure. Well, with this podcast, we use a program called Descript. That's another little insight. I've never mentioned this before. We use Descript. Riverside is the big one, but we use Descript, which is another big one. And there's a pro package. So in order to get it transcriptions done, like it'll take all of our words and put it into a transcription so you can see it, and it's good for Spotify and it's good for YouTube. It creates the chapters, but there's no limits to like how long we can go. Right now we're at an hour and 1 minute.
Oh, wow.
So
I didn't even notice.
If you don't pay for the big one, if you just do like the simple $10 a month, you can only transcribe like 10 hours a month or 5 hours a month, and it won't publish a video longer than an hour. You have to manually export it and then upload it yourself. It's just a lot easier. All the pro features. I'm not going to sell Descript. It's worth it. It's something like $40 a month if you pay for the whole year all at once. Like if you just pay for it month by month, it's $60 a month. So, but you're our 41st episode. I'm really proud of that. Soon we're going to be at 50. We hit 40 over the weekend, and then you're 41.
I'm honored to be on it.
Bro.
It's a blessing. I've literally, like I told you earlier, I've watched so many podcasts in my life, and that honestly, I think that's another reason why Pushing for New got motivated, because when I had that broken hand time, I was working remote, so I was literally in my room all day. So if I'm on my computer, like I would just throw on a podcast.
You lived on YouTube and Spotify,
Yeah, I would just literally put a YouTube podcast, and I would like just pick up on a lot of knowledge and a lot of things. Like
me too.
That's how I learned how to do the marketing side of my brand. I've learned the business side. Like I've learned like everything that goes on in Pushing for New.
Investing, a lot
directing,
of things.
video producing, everything that's on that page.
Sure.
You can see that like it's all been done by me. Yeah. Because I've been trying to learn. I want to learn how to do everything, how to do it for myself, and what's my style before I start outsourcing to somebody else. Because if I outsource to somebody else, I can't explain to them what I want. I can't explain to them my mindset.
Yeah, I tried having someone help me with editing. He's a good editor, but it's just better. I learned it all myself now. Yeah. I just do everything on my own.
And you know what you want. You know how you want it to come across.
And I want to get it done as quick as possible sometimes. And you have to pay for speed.
Yeah, literally.
But 2 of my favorite sayings, success favors speed and success leaves clues.
Yeah.
And those aren't my sayings. I learned them in a previous life. But success leaves clues, like if you want to be the best quarterback, you look at what Tom Brady did, And there's other great quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers, I'm a Packers guy, so
I used to be my favorite player when I used to play Madden. Yeah. I used to love playing with the Packers.
Yeah. But success favors speed. You're not just the fastest person, but you're not taking breaks. You have momentum, and you're going with that momentum.
Yeah.
And also like strike while the iron's hot. Like the iron's hot in you right now.
Yeah.
So instead of you trying to work in a bank and all these jobs to just make a ton of money, you're focusing on what your true life's mission is, which is to help people.
Yeah, and I'm taking advantage of that moment.
Trying to make as much money as you can in the world and be some big shot, you know. Look at me with my fancy blazer on. Big shot. Look at my watch. No, it's a Garmin.
Hey, I'm actually going to order a Garmin today.
Garmin's are the best, bro.
I'm honestly, like, so these past couple months, I've been, like, more focused on just, like, so I did the Miami half marathon.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I was like, I went into the mindset, I wasn't chasing time.
Yeah.
That was my first time doing a big race like that, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to just do this just so I can complete it. So I ran for 10 miles without stopping. And my goal was to get as much done. And then at 10 miles, I literally stopped for maybe 5 seconds. And then this guy that had the same jersey from my church literally ran by me. He tapped me. He's like, let's go. And from then on, I couldn't even walk anymore. So I was pretty close to my goal of not stopping the whole thing.
Wow. That's amazing that within 5 seconds. Because you will see that. Like, I ran Boston last month. And it's my 10th Boston. But, like, I was tempted to stop. I didn't stop. I've had to stop in other marathons, whether it's to go to the bathroom or because I didn't feel good. But if you do see someone stop, there's always someone encouraging them right away. And you see that even in the biggest races in the world. Even in the Olympics, you see it. Yeah. That's a universal sign of good sportsmanship.
Yeah, because why not help
let's go.
Sometimes that's all they need.
Or if someone collapses on the ground, they're almost to the finish line. You see it in many races where the person helps pick them up and drag them across the finish line.
I saw a couple of videos of Boston of that happening. And, man, God bless those people that do that because it's... At the Miami Marathon, when I finished and we got our medals and we came across... Literally, there's a guy having a seizure right in front of me.
Oh, my God.
And, like, there's a lady trying to help him. But, like, at first I was, like, kind of, like, my glasses were kind of blocking the view. And I was trying to see what was going on. And literally, like, men are walking by just, like, not even helping. And I just see this lady trying to help him. And I was like, bro, like... And then I was like, all right, let me help her. So I tried helping the guy. We were trying to get him, like, I don't know. I couldn't tell if he was having a seizure or if he was just, like, having a compulsion, like, because of, like, you know, like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And first, I'm new to this world, so I was like, I don't know what he might be going through. And I was like, you know, let me try to help them. And then, like, I'm asking guys that are walking by, like, I'm like, yo, can you help us? Like, we're trying to pick him up to get him in a wheelchair. Can you go call somebody?
People are just flying by.
People are just walking by. And I was like, bro, people are so selfish. Like,
you see it in bigger cities. There's a study of psychology where, like, when your community is smaller and people know each other, they help each other more than when, like, in New York City sometimes, and I don't want to pick on New York City. It can happen in Miami a lot, too, is, like, you know, someone unfortunately could be getting, like, even stabbed on the subway and, like, no one's helping them. They're recording it.
Yeah.
It's really sad, dude. And, like, it challenges us all to, like, if I was driving down 95 and someone got in a car accident in front of me and I can stop, I will stop. Right. If I can't stop because I'm already flying by, I'm going to call 911. Yeah. Like, there was a car accident right behind me.
But people always think, oh, somebody else will help.
People are just blowing by.
It's always that mentality, like, oh, somebody will stop.
But then the Good Samaritan stops. You know, and helps them, and they could save someone's life, and then that can change your life too. Yeah. Because you could just keep going. It's the same thing with anything in life. It's the same thing with you being a coach. You don't have to stop and help all these people. You could just have an assistants help them, and you could be in charge of just being the guy shaking all the hands and making the deals. Mm-hmm. But you want to be helping you want to connect with every person. So that's the same thing as helping someone who collapses, is you're helping them to feel good about coming to their club, because it's really about feeling good, man. Yeah. It's about fitness makes you feel good, the high.
And now that you say shaking the hands, Frankie Ruiz, literally, I think it was like a couple months back, I went to Brickell Run Club. Yeah. And I know it was during that time when he had broken his foot. Wow. On the bike or something like that. Yeah. And then I know he was talking to a lot of people, and I was literally just on standby waiting to talk to him because I wanted to meet him. And I wanted to ask him for advice, like, because I was like, there's nobody else I would want to ask advice to than the guy who's the face of all of this in Miami. So I see him, and I was waiting for him, but, like, he was so caught up with talking. The run club takes off, and I'm just waiting there. I was like, damn, like, I don't know like how much longer I should wait. And then I was like, you know what, forget this. And I just left, and I went into a run. And then when I got home, I think it was like the next day, I was like, damn, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna just blow this. I'm gonna just text him. And I just texted him. I was like, hey, like, I want to know if I could talk to you. Like, I wanted to ask you for advice. He gave me his number. He was like, oh, just call me. Whoa. And I literally, the moment I got out of the gym, I called him. I asked him for advice. And the first thing that he told me that still sticks with me today, and I feel like it's helped me a lot, was he said, just go out there and shake hands. Go out there and meet as many people as possible. Introduce yourself. Get to know people. Get people to know you and what your goal is. And I feel like to this day, that is the number one thing. Like, because at first I was a little, like, intimidated with, like, starting conversation, because in the Miami culture here is, don't talk to me. Like, I'm like, yeah. Like, who are you? Like, I'm not gonna start the conversation first. And I unfortunately was stuck with that. And then that conversation made me be like, no. Now I need to be the one starting the conversation. I need to stop, like, put my ego, the shyness, all of that away. I got to go out there and shake those hands. And to this day, now, every opportunity, I'm like, hey, how are you? Like, I am Joao. Like, oh, night, like, congrats. Or, like, whatever it is, like, I'm going out there to meet people. And I feel like that's been the biggest impact on what I've been doing.
That's a really powerful story. Yeah. In a lot of settings I've gone into in the last couple of years, I've challenged myself to go up to people and just introduce myself. When I'm at, places for conferences and stuff, I go to a lot of work conferences now, but like, if people are I'm just always trying to meet people nowadays to just get to know everyone. And this could be someone who's just like, no one's talking to, that's the person who actually I want to talk to.
Right.
But my next question, we're getting low on time here, maybe 5 or 10 more minutes.
Cool.
We're going up to that time limit of, towards the end. And what's the question I should be asking you that I haven't asked you?
That's a tough one. I feel like we've covered a lot. Well,
family. You have any brothers and sisters?
I do have a brother and sister. They live in Brazil.
Okay.
They're much older. They're like in their early 30s.
So you're the youngest?
Yeah, I am the youngest.
What else do you like to do besides working out? You said video games. Is there anything else you like to do that spices up your life?
Honestly, my whole life literally consists of working out, now running, and just hanging out with my friends, going out. Like, I've never been much of a video game person. Like, I'll play video games. Like, for example, like GTA 6, when that game comes out, like, I'm on there.
Everyone's waiting for that one. I've never played. I see it in the comment sections all the time. What's taking so long on that?
Yeah, but like,
they're saying the zombies are going to come first. What's taking so long? Is it just
I think it's a big game. Like, they're going into super details. Like, you could see Brickle, like, you could see the signs, like, everything.
Does it take place in Miami?
Yeah, it takes place in Miami.
Whoa.
So they're going very detailed oriented. So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure with how much detail they're going into, it takes time.
What's your favorite place to eat in Miami? This is like quick question section.
Talking tacos.
Talking tacos.
Yeah, literally, like, if there's one place, like,
doesn't have to be the fancy place.
It's not a fancy place. It's just literally like my favorite taco place, just because they have this Caribbean taco that has plantains, and I love plantains.
Where is it located? I've never heard.
They have Brickell, they have Miramar.
Okay.
Literally right next to Brickell City Center, there's a Talking Tacos right there.
Been a minute since I've been down there. I once went to Talkology, and I was traumatized by the price point.
Yeah,
it was like $30 or $40, bro.
And a little taco.
Yeah,
and a little taco.
It's all about the presentation and about the venue. It's super gorgeous.
See, about Talking Tacos, you get 3 tacos for $20.
Yeah.
And it's super good.
I grew up in Miami going to Lime, so you know.
Oh yeah. I actually never been to Lime.
You've never been to Lime? Oh
no.
My God, I've been to Lime thousands of times.
I've always been
South
more like
Beach.
eating at home. My mom has always cooked all my meals.
What's your favorite homemade meal? What's your mom's favorite cooking?
My mom makes like this type of like it's like a, I don't even know how to say what it is. It's like diced up cubes of steak with potatoes and like a bunch of like, you know, vegetables and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And of course every day I eat rice. Like we eat rice with everything. So it's that, rice and beans or plantains or, you know, any little thing like that.
Do you have a favorite motivational phrase in life or a hero?
Keep pushing.
Keep pushing. Who's your hero?
I don't have any.
Okay.
I've never had quotes or phrases that kind of like I hold on to or I stick to, like, or person, like, I don't know, I've never...
That's okay.
I've never forced... Not that I've forced myself to, like, not idolize anybody or anything, but, like, I think I just take characteristics or, like, maybe a personality trait or, like, a form of handling things, and I just, like, kind of absorb it, but, like, I don't really register it as, like, oh, this person taught me this or like that, but, you know, one thing I definitely live by is literally just keep your life with an open mind, literally just chase anything you want to do, like... We wake up by ourselves, we go to sleep by ourselves. You wake up by you're born by yourself, you die by yourself, unless you're twins, but it's like, why please anybody else but yourself? If there's a dream that you want to do, if there's a goal, if there's anything you want to do, why not? And that's literally my biggest question, and I literally just posted a story about it on Monday. Why not? Why not is literally the question that has helped me do anything.
What do you have to lose?
Why not? Right? Yeah. It's like, why not? Like.
Yeah. It's almost like going up and introducing yourself to someone, like, or if you think you're going to make a fool of yourself, like, or doing stand-up comedy, which is a dream of mine someday, like, you might never see that person ever again.
At all. And people think that I
like
literally don't remember the guy that tripped himself down the street. Like, I don't remember him. I don't remember his face. Yeah. And, like, you know, it's like people get scared of those little moments or because of social media. Yeah. And that's ruined a lot of people's, like, mentality of doing things. And because I don't think we were meant to consume so much thoughts of other people.
Times have changed a lot.
Yeah.
I grew up in the 90s and 80s, and it was totally different. I grew up before we had cell phones.
And that's
Like, my youth, I only have like photos in like a photo album from when I was under 18 that are just like printed. Like we don't have, I mean, I could scan them and put them in my iCloud, but I didn't even have a MacBook till like, 2010. I mean, I had my first cell phone when I was, I guess, 20. So it's just like nowadays kids have a cell phone at 5 years old.
Yeah. And I hate to see it.
Yeah.
I hate to see it. Because kids are like literally, nobody knows how to communicate. Nobody knows how to like socialize. Like kids are shy of like interacting. It's like we're losing our ways of humans.
They're
we're meant to
sit by the iPad.
We're meant to move.
Their best friend.
We're meant to communicate. We're meant to be in community.
Yep.
There's a lot of things we're losing.
You're right.
And that's why I'm out here trying to at least push the moving side. A lot of people are getting too sedentary in life, and right now I'm trying to focus on, pushing that movement side. We're trying to be moving and in community. I love that. If I can encourage, and if that's the direction I'm trying to go with the run club, and my goal isn't to make runners. My goal is just to get people moving, get them active. And if you enjoy running and you start liking running after you attended my event, I'm happy. And
you made some friends. You're happy too.
Yeah, literally. And my goal, like literally, this is
and showing up is success, right?
Yeah, showing up is success. You woke up, you got up to the run club. You didn't get to run the 3 miles. Maybe you only ran a mile and you walked the rest. Cool. You did more than what you would have done if you stayed home. Mm-hmm. And I always tell people, I'm like, my event might be monthly. And I know some people are like, oh, like, I want to keep running. Go to Miami Lakes Run Club every Wednesday. And that's
nice.
like,
you're promoting your friends.
I always like, if she had an ambassador program.
I've never heard of that one because there's so many run clubs.
There's so many run clubs.
There's like got to be 50 plus run clubs in the city.
Easy. I made a
list
on my page.
It blew up around 2021, right after COVID. Yeah, it blew up. Because before pre-COVID, there was like
a big
10
thing,
or
though.
20. Now there's got to be over even 100 run clubs in Miami. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah, literally on my Instagram, if you go to the highlights, I made like Laura from Brickell Run Club, the Nike Run Club.
Yeah, I don't know her personally, but maybe.
But yeah, she had told me one day, she was like she has a list, but like it's all the way at the bottom of her page of all the run clubs with like their days and all that. And then she told me that she's like, why don't you make one? And literally the next day I got home and I made a highlight on my page where people can go and they can see Monday there's this run club list, Tuesday there's this run club list, and like that people can like you feel like going to run and it's Tuesday, but you don't want to run by yourself. You want to go to a run club. Boom, here's a list. Go follow wherever you want to go.
Run Addict does something like that. I think.
Yeah, Run Addict does that too.
My friend Elliot's the founder of Run Addict.
Yeah, he's a great person. I met him before at the.
He's been on the podcast. Yeah, he's one of. I've known him since 2008. Like, wow. He's one of my OGs.
Well, you guys are the OGs in this running world.
Well, we're the exact same age, and like we're all in our like mid to late 40s, and like Elliot and I are 3 months apart, so we race against each other all the time, and we're always locked in the same age group. Always. It's always so cool. Elliot and I, top masters. So Elliot's like we're connected at the hip. His wife and I always joke about it because when we're 90, we're gonna still be racing each other.
That's cool though.
Where do you see Pushing for New in the next 5 years? Where do you see it 5 years from now? What do you think it's gonna look like? What do you think your life's going to look like in 5 years? How old are you right now?
I'm 24.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
You're a pup.
Still pretty fairly young. Honestly, that's a tough question because
Where do you want it to be in 5 years?
Where I would want it to be, if I have the privilege to focus on it full time and make it a weekly, maybe give a lot of free resources out there and like whatever. Honestly, anywhere I can help, anywhere I could fill a gap in, by all means I'm open to it. Would it be your
full time too?
If it could be my full time thing, where I can solely focus on every interaction and give guidance, bring out resources, bring out like people, coaches to teach people like if they want to become better. Mm-hmm. By all means, like I have no specific goal that I want to be. Like as long as I stick to my main foundation, the pillars of what I want to do, I'm open to it all because in a year your life can change. Literally, exactly a year ago, if you would have asked me, I would have been running. I would have laughed in your face because I didn't start running until June.
Yeah.
And
you just had to experience it. Kind of like a guy like me needs to experience going in the gym and working out with a couple guys. I used to do that back in the day. Or maybe I need to experience going to a CrossFit gym, or I need to experience going to something that's totally outside of my world. Because we all live in bubbles. Literally. I think we live in bubbles.
And once you try something new, you're gonna be like, well, you might trigger an idea or like a feeling that you never experienced before.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I'm open to all like. When I got sponsored for the half marathon in Miami, and literally I was telling myself, I was like, yeah, right, I would never, like, I'm going to keep doing half marathons because it's doable, but to do a 26-mile run, like, I don't think I'll see myself doing it for at least 3 or 4 years.
You're so young, yeah. Did you do the full?
No, but I finished the half marathon, and within the next day, I'm doing the half. I'm doing the full. Like I'm gonna start training.
You're signed up for the Miami Marathon?
Not yet, but I'm gonna sign up for sure.
Okay.
Like
yeah, it sells out in like August or September.
I'm gonna sign up for sure. And I'm gonna
sign
get
up
into
before
training.
it sells out because we don't want to have to ask Frankie for a favor. I've had to ask him for enough favors. No, I mean, because he gets a lot. I mean, he gets favors when he's in the grocery store, and he gets favors at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night asked because everyone wants to be in the marathon, but it sells out very fast.
It sold out. Like, literally, that's why I didn't get in.
He's the founder, so
I didn't get in.
He can't make exceptions. I don't even ask him for an exception
No,
anymore. I used to get free entries because I would win the 5K, and then they get me in the half the next day. Like, oh, yeah. I'd love to do the half the next day. And he'd be like, yeah, we'll get you in and got one more entry for you. But like I stopped doing that because I realized that Frankie knows like thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people in Miami, and they're all asking him for help once in a while. And it's got to be a high pressure. I mean, I'm sure he's probably going to hear this episode and like his wife, I'm sure, knows how much his phone is blowing up with people asking for, but that's amazing that he responded to you right away and gave you the time.
I was like, I shocked that he gave me his phone number and told me to call him. I was like, okay, like this is a great example.
Look where you are now, talking to someone who knows him really well, and that just speaks volumes of who he is, because that's exactly who he is. He's he gives a lot to Sneaker Impact.
I don't even think he knows. Like I think he spoke to me on the phone. Like I think he doesn't. I don't even think he knows like the face to the voice. Or he probably like. I know he talks to a lot of people. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't even remember that conversation.
Sure.
But like that's a true sign, like a display of leadership and wanting to help the community, even if you don't know the person.
He's got 2 kids at home that are young, that are like under 5 years old. So I mean, he could have been like, oh, I'm busy right now. Like, let's set up a time to talk later.
He literally told me, call me whenever. He said, call me whenever.
Yeah.
And I did not waste a second. I was like, okay, let me get out of the gym because I know it's a lot of noise.
That's smart of you, though, because that advice is so good, to shake hands and meet as many people as you can. Because it's not shaking hands like you're running for president. It's shaking hands in that being authentic, getting to know people.
Yeah, literally.
So that's incredible advice. All right, we're going to wrap it up now, Joao, but incredible to have you on today. What last inspiring words would you like to leave our Sneaker Impact studio with?
If there's one thing I'd always stand by, is that if there's something you want to do, go after. If there's a feeling, if there's an idea, there's a business, whatever it is, you want to go for a run, just do it. Stop waiting for people to do it. Stop waiting for anybody to support you. Just go out there and do it by yourself. At the end of the day, you only got yourself. So
awesome. And you got Joao to help you too, because he's gonna be in. He's going to be in the back. He's going to be picking you up if you ever need it, or he's just going to be
I'm that guy in the back of the run club. I'm going to help you, and I'm going to help you finish it. If I got to walk it with you, I'm walking it with you.
That's awesome, man. I love your attitude. I love your energy, Joao. Pushing for New, June 14th.
June 14th. I hope to see you guys out there. We're going to be Veterans Park, Miami Lakes.
Is there a name for the event, or is it Pushing for New?
Pushing for New Run Club. It's going to just be my run club event. Oh, actually, it's going to be summer kickoff.
Summer kickoff of the Pushing for New
Run Club summer kickoff.
Awesome. So Sneaker Impact's going to be there. I'll be there. Happy Runner Jazz will be there. We're going to promote it. Check out his Instagram at pushing4new.
Yeah, that's right. And if you guys want to run a 5-minute 5K, Brian will be literally, he'll be pacing.
That would be a world record. I love it. When I saw someone on Garmin the other day, they had a 5-minute 5K on their results, and it's obviously not real. That would have been a mistake. They would have been in a car, and the car was, you can only drive a 5K. And so the world, just to let you know, the world.
You can't run a 5K with 5. No. Oh, a 5K. I think
the 5K is 3.1 miles. Yeah. You meant 5-minute pace.
Yeah,
I thought you meant 5 minutes.
No.
The world record is 12 minutes and 30 seconds.
That's insane.
And it's set by like Olympians that have like all the contracts in the world with like, all the watch companies and all the shoe companies. But basically, it was just funny that you said that, because on my Garmin the other day, on Garmin and Strava, sometimes people will have their personal records.
Yeah.
And like no one in the world has ever run even under 12 minutes for a 5K.
Yeah.
And this person had 5 minutes for the 5K. So they just didn't go in and fix it, but I knew what it was. You can't even bike a 5K in 5 minutes.
That's insane.
That's in a car or an airplane or a boat.
Those are the longest strides ever.
And you have the watch going in the run feature, and you were in a car, which might have been an accident. They might have forgot to turn it off, which is what happens. People forget to turn off their watches when they're done with their run, and then they drive home, and then the watch will capture a 5K segment, and then it'll put it on there. So that's just a funny last little story. In that, no, but you know what? They probably weren't trying to fake it. But it's just like, the fastest mile in the world is like 3:45 or something.
Sheesh. I just got my first fastest mile, and I hit 6:53. That was
a
Nike event.
Man. That's
and
awesome.
That took everything.
You're just going to keep improving, man.
That's a goal.
I did a marathon when I was 20, and then my second marathon was at 28. And between them, I didn't do any racing. And my first one was 4:16. did one 8 years later at 28. And then from the age of 28 onwards to 46 now, I've done nothing but marathon every year. And I've improved 2.5 hours.
Wow.
No, 2 hours. From 4:16 to 2:31. But the 4:16 was a 10-minute per mile pace. And the 2:31 is a 5:40 pace. So that's a drop of 6 minutes per mile over 26 miles. Plus, what I've seen as a coach and as a runner is that you start at a certain place, and after like 3 or 4 years, you're way beyond where you were in the beginning. It's like you need almost like a college. It's like your college. Like you need 3 or 4 years to like kind of get your feet under you, because what happens is your body changes and it adapts and you become more of a runner. Because everyone can run, and some people are naturally incredibly talented, and then some people are more just like normal average runners, which is great. But then if you really want to be a great runner, you can slowly progress to that, but it takes 10,000, the 10,000 hour rule. Anything in life that you want to master takes 10,000 hours or more. So just like to be good in, the strength training you're doing, you probably were okay the first year. Yeah. But then at year 2, 3, and 4, you probably took off. Yeah. And you're just going to keep taking off because, for me, instance, I got a lot better in my 30s. Like you're still in your early to mid 20s. Yeah. So you have, as cardiovascular athletes, we tend to have our peaks in our late 30s. I had my peak in my early 40s. So, but I started training later in life. I didn't run in high school. But basically what I'm telling you is, I hate it on the podcast when I talk more than the guest. No,
and, we got to hear your story too. I'm motivated now because I'm going to start training for my full marathon now.
I'm almost old enough to be your dad, I guess. 22 years old, I would have had you because I'm 22 years older than you. So I'm not your dad, but I'm old enough to be like older than your brother. I could be like an uncle. Yeah. And so like my unclely advice, is that a word? My unclely advice is to keep working hard, because you're going to keep improving every single year as long as you don't get injured. Just don't get injured as best as you can. When you broke your hand, Frankie broke his foot. I had to get Achilles. Things happen. But, if you can prevent injuries, you will keep progressing, evolving, and growing as a human and as an athlete. It's not just as an athlete, but athletes continue to grow as they get into their 30s.
There's always something
the best Ironmans are in their late 30s. They're not 24 necessarily, because you keep developing your engine, and your engine is still getting developed.
Yeah, we're still putting oil in the engine right now.
It's getting developed, but your mentality is so strong that it's stronger than a lot of people that I've talked to in my life, because you are so young, but you have so much to give, and you have so much wisdom at your age already, that I just see great things in your future. So it's been an honor to have you on today, Joao. Thank you for taking the time. We're pushing an hour and a half, but it's been a great conversation. So guys, thank you for joining us. We'll have Joao back in the future, catch up with him. Come out on June 14th with Sneaker Impact to the summer kickoff of the Pushing for New Run Club in Miami Springs. I hope to see you guys there.
And it was a pleasure being on your podcast.
Awesome, Joao.
I thank you so much.
Let's go get some mangoes and have some
for sure.
Kick it with the crew. All right, guys.
We get to enjoy this now.
See ya.